Why do people in California love cruising so much? Across the state of California, the main boulevards turn into cruise routes. Whittier, Crenshaw, Highland, and Van Nuys fill with old cars, families, and music, and cruising culture stays alive in real time. People in California love cruising because California was designed around cars rather than walkable streets, so the boulevards became the main place where people actually saw each other. In the 1950s and 60s, Black, Latino, and other working class communities used cruising as their way to connect because public spaces were limited. The streets worked like a shared hangout, shaped by the people who spent time there, and it grew into a scene that crossed neighborhoods and backgrounds as California expanded after World War II. In the early years, most people rebuilt older Chevys, Buicks, Pontiacs, Fords, and Chryslers because they were already sitting in their driveways and garages. Parts were easy to grab at local yards, and builders transformed these cars from the frame up, creating a California style that grew block by block. Lowering cars became popular because it felt good to drive and create a clean look. When the state passed a 1958 law that restricted lowering cars, builders adapted with aircraft hydraulic pumps from surplus yards. The lift, drops, and movement shaped a new level of creativity and kept the culture advancing. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, the scene kept expanding. Clubs formed, families got involved, and boulevards became open public hangouts where people felt seen. The cars carried personal history and neighborhood identity, so the connection ran deep. In the 1980s and 90s, cities tried to shut down cruising, but the communities kept it alive in parks, lots, and back streets. Local codes restricted boulevard traffic and no cruising signs went up, but the scene pushed through the pressure. Lowrider magazine documented everything and helped the culture stay connected during these really difficult times. The hip-hop era brought even more attention. Artists used lowriders in videos and performances, and the image reached a global audience while staying rooted to its neighborhoods here in California. In recent years, laws have changed. California repealed the restrictions around cruising, and cities revived their cruise nights, bringing back the tradition in public spaces. People came back to the boulevard with the same energy that kept the scene alive in the first place, and newer builders learned from the old ones who carried the tradition throughout the harder years. Cruising in California did not stay in California. Once the world saw it, other countries connected with it and built their own versions. Japan picked it up and treated the culture with real care. Brazil created its own scene after seeing California cruising and shaping it into something local. The culture kept spreading because the feeling behind it carried across distances and people recognized something familiar in it, even if they live very far away from California. Today, the tradition continues because it still creates connection. It gives people a place to get together, to talk, to move through the city together, the same way earlier generations did on the boulevards. So next time you see people cruising through California streets, remember you're looking at a tradition shaped by communities who kept it alive across generations. So why do you love cruising so much?